No burp. Well, I am thinking about desires and the kinds of desires that we have, and how is it that we often have many desires, and often we accept almost unconsciously, almost assumedly, that many or most of these desires will not be fulfilled. I think we just resign ourselves to, yes, that's not going to happen. And about the desires that we actually do accomplish, that we satisfy. I find a pattern in desires. I would say in my particular desires, but also in the desires that I notice that other people express, and of their of how they do, of their performance in reality. And the pattern I notice is that oftentimes I notice human beings, you can easily make desires that seem far away, that seem at a distance, that seem very, very, they're not directly associated with this moment, with this context. They're associated more with like a distant image of something, and it can translate to longing. It's like, oh, I long for that. Like, I want that, and it can be far away. Like, oh, I just want money. Can I just get like $1 billion and be done with it? That's a desire. And the connection usually between right now and having $1 billion is often far. It's a far connection. Because $1 billion often involves $1 billion worth of value, and $1 billion worth of value is, well, it's not often in this context, because it's societal value that it needs to be like gathered. It's not just value of the right now, it's value of the society. That's the representation of money. That's the significance of money. And their committed desire of, oh, I just want to meet the girl of my dreams is out there. She's just there. Oh my, I just know it. And if I just had her, if I could just find her, then I would love her and she would love me and we would complete each other and we would be happy. We would be happy. Oh my god, if I could just meet the girl of my dreams. Also a far desire. Because the girl of my dreams, only I know what my dreams are. If I have a very concrete idea of what the girl of my dreams is, then that's more connected to reality, and that's more like, okay, I know her. She likes to I don't know, uh, play. She would like to play puzzles with me, and she would like to travel with me at least 4 times a year, and maybe move a lot, and maybe have 2 cats, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I can make a list of preferences. But it often, in my experience, I've sometimes noticed that can be a far desire. By far, I mean disconnected, because I've found myself having a desire similar to that. I just want to meet the girl of my dreams, the girl of my dreams, and then I'll be happy. I'll be complete. I'll be complete. And I really didn't know what I was looking for. More importantly, I didn't know why I was looking for it. And this relates to the pattern that I want to mention. It seems to me that many of the desires we as humans tend to have are far reaching, are out there. They're not close to this reality, they're far. And if it's far, that also puts it at risk, at a danger of it being disconnected from this, from the world as it is. Because I do see value in desires being far. I want to reach the moon. I know it's possible. I want to reach the moon. In the 60s, in the 1960s. And then a lot of people would say, what, you're crazy. I don't know, why would you do that? Doesn't make sense to go to the moon. And then some people do it and they go to the moon and whoa, they really did that. And then technologies start appearing all over the place because they had to develop a lot of technologies for that. And then society improves. Awesome, great. Far desires, I can see they have their value. What I see is that they're often disconnected from the moment, from the world as it is. As it happened with my example of the girl of my dreams. I just want the girl of my dreams. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? When I felt that, most of the time, I didn't know why I felt that. And in truth, in retrospective, as I see it, I did not. My longing was not for the girl of my dreams. Or it was not rooted in the girl of my dreams. The longing was rooted in me having worth as a man, as a male human being. There were decades of me looking at movies and people and commercials and more commercials and more movies and other people's experiences and seeing the image that other people and other couples would have, that they would present, and me inferring from all of that information that to be complete, to lead a complete life, and to prove my worth to be worthy as a male human being, I required a female companion. I had adopted that belief. That was the belief I had. And it was certain. It was so certain. It was so certain that I rarely ever felt the need to question it. And it was so certain because it was so consistent. All the ads that I saw around me, or most of the ads that I saw around it that had to do with men and women with couples, the ideal solution was togetherness, closeness, intimacy, couples, relationships, doing things together, cooking together, and giving each other food in their mouth. Just pictures of couples of scantily clad women with beer commercials, and somehow mixing in my bodily urges with the other message that I got that's the worthy thing to do. And from high school, people in high school who would continually praise and high-five each other when they had working relationships, functional relationships, or when they achieved romance or sex. And all of that information was just so consistent. It was so consistent that I rarely ever felt the need to question it. To question that do I really need a female companion to have my own self-worth? I didn't even think of questioning it. It would have been almost like questioning, like, but really, does everything really fall down all the time? Like, is that like really a thing that always happens? Really? It was just very consistent across all boards. So at an emotional level, I had it very, very ingrained that the worth I have as a man was quite dependent on my capacity to find a female companion, my capacity to, more importantly, in the capacity I had to have a female companion want to be with me. Yeah, it was not so much about, okay, I get you. It was more about, okay, do you want to continue being with me? It was both. But the second one, I feel, was a little bit deeper. It was like, oh, if I can get their want, then I'm getting their approval. And that's like, yeah, that's good news. +1. And that belief I just had never questioned. Or almost never. So when I talk about this desire I had for the girl of my dreams, in retrospect, I consider that desire was disconnected from the core of my being. It was connected. It was connected to an emotional belief I had made. And that emotional belief was worth requires female companion. And that's what that desire was connected to. And that desire, it was strengthened, it was conditioned by a lot of things, but that belief did not have a true connection to my own sensations, to my own feelings. Because I don't ever remember truly a desire from my body, from my sensations that would make me believe that my self-worth requires female companionship. There was some evidence that helped towards it. Like usually I felt comforted with female companionship. I felt, sometimes I felt loved, sometimes I felt admired, and that just, that gave me a little bit of boost. A boost of self-image. But I did not truly know that I wanted that. Like that desire did not spring from me. It sprang from my need of, from my want of being worthy, and from the belief that worth requires female companionship. And yeah, my desire for being worthy, I think that is deeper. I think that is connected more to the core of my being. Maybe not to the core, but yeah, pretty close to the core. Whereas that emotional belief of worth requires female companionship, that was like, it was kind of like a projected truth. It wasn't a truth. It wasn't my truth. It was just a truth that was projected from so many places and marketers and people and classmates and everyone outside, that it became solid inside of me. Solid enough, at least like a gelatinous substance, just there, stuck. So the desire of me wanting the girl of my dreams was disconnected from the core of my being. It was not directly connected to my own worth. I did not truly feel that having the girl of my dreams would satisfy my self-worth. I did not feel it. I assumed it because of the belief in the middle. The belief was connected to my self-worth, and the belief is connected to the desire, but the belief, it did not spring from me. It was projected. There it goes. And the way I began realizing that belief in there, that gelatinous projection inside of me, was not really mine, was not really true, was that I found women to have romantic and sexual relationships with. And we had romance, and we had sex, and we had laughter, and we had adventures, and we had hopes, and we had plans. And I could feel also my self-worth being all boosted up. And then sometimes I felt, yeah, that was just... And then I didn't feel that self-worth. Sometimes I didn't feel that thing I assumed I would have if I had a girl with me. I didn't. Sometimes I actually felt like running away. And being like, no, I'm done too much. So at that point, I feel like when that happened, and I realized, oh, I'm not feeling good, I'm not feeling worthy while I'm with them, I, I believe I had one of two choices to resolve the inconsistency. I could either decide, oh well, she's not the girl of my dreams. She's not the right one. There's another one. There's another one. This one was not it. Okay, that's fine. And then I can just remove her, bringing another one eventually, and then try again. And the same thing would happen. And by doing that, the belief remains untouched. It remains true because it's not that the belief was untrue. No, it's fine. You will have worth if you find the girl of your dreams. Just go and find the right one. So I would have one, and then it felt good, and then it didn't feel good, and then it didn't feel good at all, and then okay, no, I don't want it anymore. Or she would say, I don't want it anymore. And then the conclusion would be, oh, she's not the girl of my dreams. Trying again, again to compare against that emotional belief, and again there will be a spike of growth of self-esteem, self-value, and then as the spike diminished and went back into stability, again a realization of like, well, why do I not feel self-worthy anymore when I have a girl? Oh, not the girl of my dreams again. Or the second option was to question that belief and ask myself, okay, I thought that having the girl of my dreams with me, or having a girl with me, would make me happy and feel worthy, and that's not happening. Okay, can a girl give me that feeling I'm yearning for? Can she? And then as my questions became deeper, I began to question, well, can she give me that feeling? Or even further, can anyone give me that feeling? Other than for the short bursts of time when a relationship is starting, which I would say it's more rightly given by my own biochemicals triggering and being happy at finding a new person, more than the other person actually giving me that feeling. And when I realized that second option was a possibility, I began to realize, okay, maybe I had things like not in the right place. And then I was able to go and examine that belief and realize, like, okay, do I need a woman to have self-worth? Because there are a lot of times when I have a woman companion and I don't feel worthy. And there are a lot of times when I don't have a female companion and I do feel worthy. What's up with that? Then I began to collect the evidence, and I began to ask myself and that belief, well, are you real? Are you really mine? And little by little, it just became, the questions just like eroded it. Until that gelatinous thing just like, it just got a little softer. Some of the attachments, the projection that were coming from other play people, it just began to detach, like maybe advertisements now just seemed like, yeah, that's there. I could see the intent of them wanting to sell me something rather than, oh yeah, beaches and women, but rather like, oh yeah, they're trying to sell me that. or actual disconnection, or being able to discern too between um, desire for comfort and companionship and self-worth, and sexual urges, which are also a thing. And realizing, like, yeah, I could see that one could spur the other, but they don't need to. Like, they are connected for sure. I mean, romance and sex, but not necessarily worth. Or general good well-being. So eventually I realized that belief is not mine. That belief is not mine. And then I could reevaluate that desire as in, oh, do I desire for the girl of my dreams? And I would look at it. Without that belief there, it made a huge difference. It was completely different. Because now I could see that belief and was like, girl of my dreams. Why? Do I have a girl in my dreams? Is it a specific girl? No. Nah. Are there images of what I would like to do with people? Yeah, sometimes. Traveling, maybe. Maybe playing board games, maybe making projects together, yeah. Like, is there a specific kind of girl? No. Does it have to be a girl to do any of these things? No. Yeah, okay, but do you want sex sometimes? Yeah, okay, but do you need it all the time? Nah, no, it's okay. And then I could start realizing, that desire, it's a lot weaker than it was before. If they're all. It's just like, oh, that desire is, it's not mine. It's not connected to my core. Like if a woman were to consistently give me self-worth and comfort and feeling good, then I might just have that desire and feel like, oh, that's what makes me feel good. Then I go to her and if I just feel good and it's consistent, then maybe I would keep that desire. I've just realized recently that I don't have that desire. It's not mine. There's no belief now to sustain it. And so the pattern I'm finding the desires that we human beings make is they tend to manifest, the object of desires tends to manifest the more connected they truly are with us, with who we truly are. Like usually, like we have desires all the time, and they can be so small that I may sometimes even hesitate to call them desires. But sometimes, for example, I see there's a dirty dish on the table, and I feel I would like that dirty dish to not be on the table. Okay, then I have a desire for it to not be on the table. How do I do that? I go and put it somewhere where it gets cleaned. Okay, that is a desire, and I can satisfy it. And it's very close to where I am. Now, even with those, it's important it can be important to identify where it's coming from. Like, oh, there's a dirty dish. Okay, there's a desire that says, I want it to be clean, or I want it to be off the table. not dirty, visible everywhere, right, on the table. Okay. Why? Do I want that dish to not be dirty on the table? Or is it because I know that someone else, my housemate, doesn't like dirty dishes on the table, and so I'm going to do it for her, and I put it over there. Like, the why is important, and it's very, very important that we accept it. Because, well, putting a dirty dish in the sink or in a dishwasher, I guess, can hardly be called a desire. But it is. Like, if I genuinely dislike dirty dishes on the table, it can be my true, genuine desire to get it off of there. Because, and this might be its source, I might have a repulsion towards there being a dirty dish on the table. I have a repulsion towards it, and so I have desire towards the opposite, which is towards getting it out of there, towards cleanliness. Okay. And when that desire is truly ours, then it's more clear. Then the energy that we can provide to it is clearer. The channel is clearer. It doesn't need to go through convoluted assumptions and stuck beliefs that we're not sure if it's not really ours and trying to get it there. It's truly coming from ourselves. And it's my intuition that when we hear of stories of people who had dreams and they had bold dreams and they went towards it and they did this and they did that and they were awesome and they were either very intelligent or very brave or very this or very that and they did it. It just seems to me that they had a clear energy channel from the core of their being towards that desire. And what seems to make these people / desires / accomplishments special is that these desires were particularly unusual or far away from the reality. And being able actually to create and to create and maintain this clear energy channel between themselves and a faraway desire or an unusual desire is worthy of note. It's like when you think of creativity and thinking like, oh my God, this person did something I never thought about before, but it's amazing. It's in the unusual. It's in the unusual bucket. I think usual usually is unusual because it's not thought about often. So it requires kind of like bing, kind of a creative spark. If there's a creative spark, I would give that creative spark also. I feel it can also be represented by such a clear channel, or at least it's a very close phenomenon. Creative spark with having a clear channel towards something, towards achieving something. Because for there to be a clear energy channel, it requires understanding all the way through. Like, for instance, in my example of the girl of my dreams, I did not have understanding. I just did not understand the dynamics that were happening there. I just knew that, I don't feel good in this world. And everyone says that to feel good in this world, you gotta be in pairs with a beautiful woman. Okay, then, beautiful woman, where are you? For years. And then at some point I realized, hey, that desire is not mine. I don't understand it. I don't understand why I'm looking for this woman. And then when I understood it, I realized, That desire is not even mine. It's not mine. And I feel it's similar to when people think, I want $50 million, I want $1 billion. It's like, okay, why? Why? Because then I can get everything I want. Why? Because then I can do anything I want and I'm free to do anything and I can get everything from everyone else. And that seems to be more like the search of a panacea in English, panakeia in Greek, cure all, a cure all. It seems to me kind of like wanting $1 billion seems to me like the searching for a panakeia. Like, what will cure me? What will give me everything that I want? It's like I'm trying to get the genie that grants me the infinite number of wishes. And my intuition tells me that such a thing, a panakeia, is not a true desire of our core being. Our core being is not looking for panakeias. Our core being is of the moment. Hello, Johannes. The feeling of value from a panacea, I intuit, does not spring from our core beings. I posit it is the result of a mental ideal. Like the mind says, oh, if I solve the problems right now, then I don't have to do anything right now. But if I solve the problems for all of this week, then I don't have to do anything this week, which is better. Extrapolating, maybe if I solve the problems for all time, then I don't need to do anything anytime, never. I'll be free because I don't need to do anything ever. It's like this extrapolation that the mind tends to make. I just don't feel it's rooted in our core beings, not in our bodies, not in our souls. I don't feel they're looking for that, for a forever cure. Because partly I feel there is no forever cure. Partly because I feel there's no forever problem. There is no forever problem. What we live in is in a constant state of flux. And problems and solutions and contexts are changing all the time. To give such a fluid being ourselves the concept that there is something that will simply fix it for all time kind of means that you're broken for all time, inherently. And I don't think that's how our beings and our soul understand themselves. Our bodies are creatures of the moment. And to it, the things to do are not problems, they are just tasks. They are the thing in the moment. And the emotions that we have about it, whether we're disgusted by it, like I don't want to do it, laziness, boredom, or actual excitement, and we might be actually excited to do things, that feels somewhat irrelevant to the body. I guess it will feel it because biochemicals going through the body and everything, but no, I feel that the body itself, that the core of our beings does not want a panacea. So what I'm positing is that wishing for $1 billion, that desire, is rarely ever connected to the core of our beings. We don't truly wish for that. I feel that at some point, just like I picked up the belief that worth requires women, sometimes people pick up also the concept that worth requires money. Isn't it the other way around? I don't know. Worth requires money. And so there's several problems with that. One of the problems I see is that if worth requires money, then it also stands to reason, not a full inference, but it also stands to reason that more money implies more worth. And then people are looking for more money. And it's consistent with the reality that, if I have more money, then I can get more things. Yes, if I have $1, I can get what is it? Something I like. How would you say? Chocolate. A good chocolate. Tasty. Okay, that was good. But I had $1, and now I don't have anything. But if I had $100, then I could get 100 chocolates. Things to mind. That's 100 times better. Amazing. And while math class might kind of imply that is not true. Is 100 chocolates 100 times better than one chocolate? In the realm of sensations. Like right now, I eat a chocolate, and I have not tasted a chocolate before in a while. And the taste is right there, and the flavor is good, and it's new, and it's scrumptious, good. If I'm having a second chocolate, immediately I will feel that the value is quickly diminished. It'll be like, okay, that is good. I already had one, but I can have another one. Okay, it's good. And then having a third chocolate, I'll be like, I already had 2, but they are good, so I'll eat another one. My what do they call it? My position? Interesting. My position is that 100 chocolates is it's not 100 times better than one chocolate. It may be better. And it may even provide 100 different people with the pleasure of one chocolate. Great. That does not mean it's 100 times better. $1 billion is not 1 billion times better than $1. But our mind kind of thinks it is. And because it is consistent with the fact that having some money, I can get some things, and that gives me some pleasure or some satisfaction or some help in this world, then I'm like, the good thing, a little money is a good thing I have. If I had more money, then it's more good, it's better, and I can make more things in the world. And there appears this ideal somewhere in the end of our mind of, if I have infinite money, then I have infinite freedom or infinite worth. And I do not believe that is true. Diminishing returns, baby. Economists know about it. And yes, in the language of usual finances and economy, it is money that dictates linear return. So people would say that no, that 100 is actually 100 times better than one. $100 is 100 times better than $1 in the liquid fashion of economy. But I posit even that's not true. Because in the end, all of it gets routed to our experience, to our sensations. That's what we are interested in. I don't care if there's 50 billion gazillion dollars somewhere that are related to me, if they do not connect to my sensations in a way that I want. Like, I don't care. It's like having a $50 billion in a desert. Oh, okay, you have $50 billion in a desert. Do you have water? No. Do you have anyone to sell you water? No. What do? It's $50 billion. A lot better than a bottle of water? Not in that moment. So I posit that a desire for money that many people have, that I used to have, is not truly connected to ourselves. And we have many of these desires, I feel. I've mentioned only some of the stereotypical ones. But there are many. I want a better promotion. Oh, I want a better job. Oh, I want more vacations. Oh, I want to travel to all continents. Oh, I want to complete all these mountains. Oh, I want to do this, to do that, blah, 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 blah. A lot of them are projected beliefs. Oh, whoever scales the 7 highest mountains of the world falls into this category. That's where the worth is. I will go and do that. It's kind of like, it can easily be projected into us. Like, it could be a core desire of us. Like, for some reason, if I just truly desire to scale all the peaks of the world, then great, that can be my desire. It can be a true desire. And in that case, I would posit that my course energy will course freely onto those desires because I understand them, because I feel them. However, if these desires are not truly understood, if they're not truly traced, truly all the way down to the sensations, to how it feels, the channel's not clear. The channel's not clear, the energy that we're pouring it will not be clear, will be interrupted. We'll get stuck somewhere. And we might just not be as effective at it. And plus, if we get it, we'll realize, oh, I thought I wanted that, but now I think I don't really want that. Maybe because it wasn't connected to our beings. Because it doesn't matter if if I have 50 hot girls around me and $50 billion and 1,000 cars of the latest model, and I have all the approval ratings of the world, and I have my own private space plane that can take me anywhere in 2 hours. What matters is, how do we feel? That's what we really care about. Usually people look for money because it makes them feel good, somehow valuable or worthy, or human companionship, or, well, food. I wouldn't say food makes us feel valuable. Food makes us feel nourished. That is a direct sense. That is often has a direct connection to our beings. However, I also identify situations when I have a desire for food, and I'm like going out and getting food, and it's not connected to hunger. When it is, I can feel I even take a little bit more time to take things to be like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I'm hungry, so what do I want? I can take a little bit more time. I notice that when I'm looking for food, and it's not really connected to the core of my being, it feels like I'm rushed. Like I just want to get anything inside of me. And that may be just a particularity of my pattern. But sometimes what spurs that desire is a need for comfort or for slowing down. Sometimes I feel anxious about something, and I'm not sure what to do, and I'm unsure of what to do with all the possibilities in mind, and I can't then make up my mind, and then I suddenly, I just want some food. I'm gonna grab some oats and some cereal and some honey and just eat it. It's not. Does it spring directly from my mind? From my body? I guess it is. But it's kind of a reactory system. I'm getting food, but not because of hunger, really, but because of anxiety. Kind of a reaction to have the body telling me, slow down, dude. Or as an excuse of the mind to just to procrastinate something. If there's anxiety about something, actually food is a great distraction. What can I distract myself with? And then see, many of these patterns I just did not understand before. I had not questioned them. I did not understand them. And so, because I didn't understand them, I also was not able to place my energy into them fully, because there were doubts in the middle. These assumptions that I made in the middle were hazy, and these haziness translates into the energy channels, and then we pour out our pure energy, and we get hazy energy in the desire, and so we get hazy results. Like was my experience with trying to find the girl of my dreams. Hazy desires. It's important to understand our desires and see where they come from. identifying those untrue objects along the way from the core of our being up into the desires that we make around us is deeply valuable. It allows us to understand our own patterns, our own behavior. Like, why do I crack my neck? I'm not sure. It kind of feels satisfying. But yeah, tracing desires back to our sensations is important. I posit we have many desires that are only rooted at the mental level, like that of money. I posit that it's often at the level of the mental, and or at the level of the emotional, like the girl of my dreams. How can I get the girl of my dreams? Emotions, self-worth, loneliness, jealousy, anxiety. But I did not truly have the sensationally felt experience that the girl of my dreams gave me self-worth. It was not something I had inferred. It was something I had assumed from messages that I got before. So tracing them down to how it feels in my body is valuable. Like, that's how we feel what kind of bed we like, which kinds of food are we interested in. Do I eat that food because someone told me that it's good, so I guess I will eat it, even though I don't feel it's good? Or do I eat it because my body feels it's good, and I am actually like attracted to it? Like, that's what my body wants to eat. It's different. I feel there's value sometimes on trying things that other people tell us that don't resonate with our bodies at the moment. There's value. There's a whole medical field that gives us pills and injections and things that our body usually does not like to try, but that can often help our bodies recover or nourish ourselves. I just feel it's important to recognize where we make beliefs out from. How are we shaping our beliefs? Do we shape them from what other people tell us? From just other things that other people in the world is offering us, projecting onto us? Or is it really rooted in the core of our beings? Like, I would say, if I learn information from someone else, and I choose to apply it to my life because it feels valuable, I may adopt that into myself, and adopt it not as a belief, but as a hypothesis to experiment with. To feel, oh, okay, maybe this works for me. Let's try it out. Maybe like, oh, maybe finding the girl of my dreams will make me happy. Okay, let's see how that works out. And then I adopt it, and it's a hypothesis. The issue is when it's a hypothesis, I feel it's important to not lose track of it. Because if we lose track of it, then it becomes unconscious, and then it becomes a belief, and we forgot about it because we lost track of it. And so it begins dictating our patterns, even if we didn't mean it to. It just does. And so while it's a hypothesis, it seems to me that a healthy course of action is to keep it in my sights. To feel, okay, maybe finding a girl will make me happy. Okay, well, let's go find a girl. And then I go find a girl, and then maybe I find a girl, and then I interact with her, and then I remember the hypothesis, and I feel like, okay, hypothesis is I will feel worthy and good with a girl. And then I test it. Do I feel worthy and good with this girl? And I can evaluate and feel out. And if it feels right, then I will add belief into. I will add strength into that hypothesis. And if it doesn't, then I diminish value from the hypothesis. And eventually, after enough data, going up, down, I choose. Like, okay, what do I do with this thing? Do I believe it or not? If I don't believe it, then we can just get it out. Out of there, let it be dissolved. Out of my life. No longer in me. Or I choose to adopt it as in, okay, yeah, this one I believe. And I keep it. If it just happened to be that I do feel worthy and good whenever I'm with a girl. The important thing is that they be ours. That they really be ours. The things we adopt that we forget about can become litter. More strongly so if they are not even true. And something could be even true right now and then become untrue, become obsolete with time. So the process of being able to introspect, to identify these beliefs inside, and to evaluate whether we still want to keep them or not is very important. It's like cleaning. It feels like cleaning, really. Like there was stuff in there that we didn't like. There was litter, and then we realized, oh, do we still want this? Yeah, oh yeah, I keep this. I use this all the time, and I keep this. And then I take another, and then we're like, what? I use this? No, this is not true at all. You throw it out. It's not yours anymore. And when you throw things out, it's cleaner. It's really like donating out your clothes, and the clothes you don't use, out to something else. Giving out those pans and those glasses and those cups that you're not using anymore. Just put them in a box, give them to the second-hand shop, and you're done. It's cleaner. had like 3 keyboards before. I never used any of them, and then suddenly I began using one of them, and then I looked at the other 2 and was like, that's, I never used those. And something inside of me was like, but maybe you'll use it sometime. But really, I was like, no, I'm not gonna use it. Not in any kind of foreseeable future. Out! And then once it's out, it's cleaner, and there's more space. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the things that we have out here in the world that we litter ourselves with. Oh, we have clothes, and we have condoms, and we have It amuses me that those are the first 2 things I can think of: clothes and condoms. And we have bed sheets, and we have towels, and we have mattresses, and we have chairs, and desks, and tables, and vacuum cleaners, and brooms, and cups, and blenders, and juicers, and coffee cups, and coffee, and oats, and fruits, and milk, and blah, blah, blah. We just accumulate. For me, perhaps not tons, but for some people, literally tons of stuff. And there's a sneakily kind of funny knowledge that we all have, that we keep all these things that we have no more use for. And that stuff is, well, nigh useless. What are we doing with it if we're not using it? How is it enriching our lives? Sometimes the stuffiness of it, like, oh, there's more stuff. Yeah, for some people it can cause coziness. But really, it's up to each person to decide. What fits me? Do I want to keep all of this stuff? For me personally, I prefer lightness. And I still have a lot of stuff. It's the same concept. Cleaning ourselves of all beliefs. Do I still want this? Do I still need this? Do I still feel this? I feel that's the same question that is important to ask ourselves with things and with beliefs. If I have a thing, if I have like a keyboard, and I'm like, do I still feel I'm going to use this? Do I still know? Is there a connection for myself to thinking like, oh yeah, I have another computer that another person is going to use, and I think that they have a monitor of their own, but they don't have a keyboard, so I think I can give it to them. Okay, there's a connection. Right there, okay, then I can keep it because I can use it. There is a connection. But if I have the feeling of, oh yeah, maybe it's the possibility that I might keep it, that I might have, that another person comes, or that maybe I get another computer, a personal computer, and I can do all my individual projects in them, and then I'll need another keyboard and a monitor, and then I'll want to use this keyboard. It's like all the maybes. I can recognize at that point, oh no, that's mostly mental, and I don't really feel that. And then I can just remove it. Same with a belief. What do I still feel is true? Like at some point, I feel I even question that belief of the girl of my dreams. No, that's not true. I never really looked into it very deeply before realizing it was there. But the thing with beliefs is, it's the same thing. Do I still feel this serves me? Do I still feel this serves me? And even though the mind might say, oh yeah, that belief of more money is better, of course it's better, of course it's better. Because there's a mental belief about it. It's important to seek a way down into the core. Does it feel like that's what I want. Imagine having the desire fulfilled, the desire satisfied, having the object of your desire, and feeling like, okay, why is that? Why is that something that satisfies me? Why is that something that fulfills me? Why is that something I want? Why $1 billion? Why not $2 billion? Why not $50 million? Why not $1.50? What is the difference? How does it feel different? Because honestly, $100 million and $1 billion feels very similar from my perspective. It's just a bunch of money. And my mind might say, yeah, $1 billion is more. $1 billion is better. My body does not. To my body, it's a bunch of money. What are we going to get with it? More food. I can't eat that much food. I have enough food. What else do I want? Oh, I want a car. Do I want a car? No, I don't want a car. What if you had a parking space? And the parking spaces are expensive here, so maybe you can get one. Oh, maybe. Oh, but if I really want it. My mind will say, yes, more is good, more is good. My mind is very prone to comparisons. But upon further thought, upon further feeling, I can realize it's not connected to the core of my being. It's not something I truly desire. And while it might seem that relinquishing desires seems naive or counterproductive, my position is that these desires, if they were not truly ours, do not allow us to express, to manifest our true energy, our true selves, because we will be depending on an infrastructure of beliefs that is not ours, that is someone else's. And at that time, and because of that, I feel that's when people say sometimes, I've been living someone else's life. I've been living for others all of my life. And let me yeah, maybe. If your beliefs were not yours, truly, you could be living another person's life. Very often, the ideal customer from the perspective of marketers' life, who want travel to exotic places, finding a beautiful partner, and being financially prosperous. If those desires are not connected to the core of our being, they are not true. They are not ours. What do I desire now? fullness of breath. I like how the inner pressure feels on my back. What else? I want to urinate. Why? Because there's some pressure on my... Where's the pressure? It's not down my perineum. It's... It's not at the tip of my penis. It kind of feels like it's at the tip of my penis. There's a valve there, yeah. It's somewhere along the shaft of my penis. It feels like there's a valve there. A little close to the base. Somewhere in the middle. Anyway, do I want to relieve myself of that? Kind of, yeah. Well, I also want to finish this video. It's been a while. Summary. Desires. I notice sometimes we have them disconnected from the core of our being and connected to the core of my being. I mean, can we trace what this desire means to us back to a sensation that we wish for, a sensation that we feel is good? If we do, if there is a clear path from it, from the desire to the sensation, then I posit we understand it. And if we understand it, I feel that connection, that energy channel is clear and energy can flow. Energy can flow freely, and that desire can reach manifestation. I feel with all of the energy we give it, and not just with a hazy, diluted version that goes through beliefs that are untrue. Which happens when our desires are disconnected from reality, from the sensational reality. It's important to recognize the beliefs that we are accumulating inside of us, whether they be mental or emotional or bodily. What beliefs have we accumulated that no longer serve us? I can develop the skills, the discernment to identify these beliefs, to evaluate their use to myself, and to choose whether to keep them, release them, or perhaps to modify it somehow. I can do that. And as I learn to do this more naturally and more continually, I do feel cleaner inside. And the version of cleaner through it that I experience with myself, of cleaner inside, is that I feel clearer. Because I am certain about the beliefs I hold. The beliefs I had that I had adopted, I know are no longer true, and that I chose to discard. they were taking up space, like litter space. And if I choose to dissolve them, then they're then it's not an assumption anymore. It's not something I've forgotten. If I chose to keep it, then I understand it freshly. Because I have traced something and I chose to keep it. I probably had a valuable connection to it. So it's fresh and I'm certain about it. And if I discarded it, then I'm certain about its non-use to me. And certainty is what allows flows to flow smoothly. Self-certainty. Certainty about my own intent. Certainty about my own intent. And cleaning oneself clears things up. Allows space for phenomena to develop within. It also helps to clean up our space, our stuff, our possessions, to see what's no longer useful and to discard or keep things that we do want to keep and freshly remember them. When we do that, when we go through that process, we freshly remember, oh yeah, that thing, I know I have it now and I can use it in these situations. We freshly understand it. Same thing with the beliefs. Same thing with the desires. Let us identify them, trace them back to our sensations, and upon understanding the connection that each of them holds to the core of our being, we can choose whether to keep them or to release them.